In the heart of the tropics, a 10,000-tree matrix awakens to the morning sun.
Precision agriculture manages every square meter of this living factory floor.
Nature's perfection, engineered for flavor and uniformity, hangs ready for harvest.
Second, hydration levels are monitored microscopically to ensure peak physiological condition.
Each tree supports hundreds of kilograms of premium fruit, suspended in gravity.
The harvest begins not with hands, but with synchronized autonomous systems. AI-driven appendages identify ripe targets with 99% accuracy.
Optical sensors analyze spectral signatures to determine optimal harvest time. Locked elements, hashtag 556B2F, 10-12 cm to length Alphonso, 60 cm, 120 cm varies, hashtag.
Soft touch actuators apply barely enough pressure to secure the fruit without damage. Ultrasonic frequencies sever the connection, releasing the payload instantly.
Gravity takes over, guiding the fruit into the collection ecosystem.
Impact-absorbing textiles cushion the fall, preserving structural integrity. The harvest flows like water, directed towards the central transport artery.
Each collection unit holds exactly 500 kilograms of raw potential.
Logistics units arrive on demand, summoned by the harvester's fill sensors.
Zero-friction transfer systems ensure the payload remains undisturbed during handoff.
A synchronized convoy begins the journey from field to factory. Autonomous carriers maintain a steady pace to minimize vibration damage. Leafing the organic cradle, the fruit enters the realm of industrial precision. The processing cathedral awaits, a monolith of stainless steel and automation.
Biosecurity scanners clear the cargo for entry into the sterile zone.
The journey from soil to steel is complete. The transformation is about to begin.
50 tons of raw material now enter the continuous processing stream.
20 tons of raw harvest position for the initial transfer. Securing mechanisms release, surrendering the load to gravity's pull.
A chaotic deluge of nature unleashes into the intake system.
Shock-absorbing liners protect the cargo as tons of pressure accumulate.
The chaotic mass is guided into a singular, controllable stream.
Chaos organizes into linear motion, accelerating at 1.5 meters per second.
The raw torrent begins its transformation journey across the factory floor. Before processing, the harvest must be purged of organic debris. High-frequency oscillation separates heavy fruit from light field waste.
Precision gaps allow gravity to filter out the unwanted elements.
Impurities are discarded, leaving only the primary product to advance. Purified and sorted, the stream reassembles for the washing phase. The harvest plunges into a thermal bath, beginning the decontamination process. Heated turbulence loosens field dust and stubborn sap residues. Every millimeter of surface area
is exposed to the cleansing solution.
Emerging from the soak, they ascend towards the high-pressure purification stage.
2000 psi jets await to strip away any remaining imperfections.
Precision hydroblasting removes sap without damaging the delicate flesh beneath. Multi-axis rotation ensures no quadrant escapes the purification jets.
Clean and glistening, the stream enters the optical inspection array.
Automated systems detect surface anomalies, instantly removing substandard units.
Post-ripening, the fruit emerges with a signature golden hue, ready for classification. Advanced optics scan 10 tons per hour, capturing every surface detail.
Laser topography maps the fruit's geometry, seeking deviations as small as a micron.
Infrared sensors pierce the skin, grading internal quality without a single touch. Artificial intelligence makes a split-second decision on the fate of each mango.
Imperfect specimens are instantly diverted, separated from the premium line forever.
Survivors face the sizing deck, where geometry dictates their path. What began as a random harvest is now organized into streams of identical siblings. Classified, cleaned, and calibrated, the fruit is ready for the peeling blades.
Selected for perfection, the fruit now faces the most invasive step of its transformation. Steel quills secure the payload, centering it for the spinning blades. Computer-guided blades trace the organic contours, minimizing waste to fractions of a millimeter.
In milliseconds, the protective outer layer is stripped away, exposing the prize within.
The exterior barrier is discarded, destined for organic recycling streams.
Simultaneous coring removes the seed, leaving only pure, consumable geometry. Vulnerable and exposed, the golden flesh advances to the final processing stage. Stripped of their armor, thousands of units march in unison toward their liquid destiny.
The processing line enters the surgical phase, where force meets precision.
Orientation systems align each fruit vertically to within 1 degree of the seed axis.
Pneumatic pistons actuate with 5 tons of force in a fraction of a second. The seed is ejected instantaneously, shearing away from the valuable flesh. Protective barriers contain the violent release of nectar during the extraction. Adaptive apertures expand to accommodate organic variants without crushing the meat.
The fibrous core is expelled, separated forever from the premium product.
Unburdened, the pure fruit glides into the collection channels.
Internal cameras verify the structural integrity of the recovered flesh.
600 units per minute flow through the destoning matrix.
Synchronized gates ensure zero cross-contamination between product and waste.
The byproduct forms its own river, a testament to the volume processed.
Nearly 40% of the incoming mass is discarded in this single step.
What remains is the pure essence, the vibrant heart of the harvest.
The streams diverge. One returns to the earth, the other ascends to the final form.
The irregular organic forms now approach the rigid geometry of the slicing matrix.
Vibration aligns the fruit to ensure the longitudinal cuts follow the natural fiber. Fixed blade arrays set at 5 mm intervals await the incoming stream.
Instantaneous separation converts the whole into uniform, geometric crescents.
Razor-honed steel parts the fibers with surgical minimal impact.
Emerging as distinct entities, the slices retain the memory of their original form. A cascade of geometric perfection tumbles toward the inspection deck.
The output merges into a continuous, flowing river of standardized product.
High-frequency oscillation separates the slices for individual quality assessment. Laser micrometers verify the 5 mm specification on every single crescent.
Where machines provide force, human dexterity ensures the final aesthetic arrangement.
Experienced eyes spot and correct microscopic irregularities in the flow.
Aesthetics are paramount. Broken geometries are culled from the premium tier.
Order is restored, and the chaotic harvest is now a disciplined army of uniformity. The geometric payload ascends, ready for the preservation phase. In the heart of the facility, the preservation medium is born from heat and purity. Precise thermal mixing creates a suspension designed to protect the fruit for years. Maintained at 85 degrees, the syrup achieves the exact viscosity required for preservation. Sterile glass vessels arrive at the rendezvous point, ready to receive the harvest.
Volumetric depositors place the solid fruit first, ensuring exact weight distribution. Vibration nests the slices, minimizing air gaps and maximizing product volume.
A curtain of liquid gold descends, encasing the fruit in a protective thermal blanket.
Physics takes over as the heavier liquid displaces oxygen, the enemy of preservation.
Laser leveling ensures the exact headspace required for a vacuum seal.
The open jars enter the steam tunnel, where heat drives out the remaining air.
In this superheated environment, a vacuum is prepared, essential for long-term stability.
Prepared and purged, the vessels race toward the final seal before the temperature drops. A magnetic cascade delivers the closure mechanism to the awaiting vessels.
200 times a minute, the barrier between the product and the world is established. Calibrated torque ensures a hermetic seal without shattering the glass threads.
As heat dissipates, the vacuum pulls tight, locking in freshness for years to come.
The filling process leaves a sugary residue that must be purged before labeling.
High-temperature jets scour the exterior, restoring the glass to optical clarity.
Blades of air shear away the moisture, preparing the surface for the identity station. Sealed, washed, and dried, the product is now a self-contained vault of flavor.
Nameless vessels approach the identity station, ready to receive their branded insignia.
In a fraction of a second, A generic container is transformed into a recognized product.
High-tack adhesives ensure the brand identity withstands transport and storage conditions.
Lasers inscribe the temporal signature, the exact moment and location of creation. A permanent mark of accountability is burned into the steel, traceable forever.
The buffer table absorbs production surges, a swirling reservoir of finished inventory.
Identity established and verified, the units proceed to the final aggregation phase.
Individual units are corralled into precise grid formations, preparing for aggregation.
Flat cardboard is resurrected into three-dimensional containers in the blink of an eye.
Pneumatic grippers descend, securing a dozen units with absolute authority. Gravity and guidance combine to deposit the payload into its transport armor. Containment is secured, shielding the golden harvest from the elements.
A strip of polymer finalizes the closure, certifying the package for transit. Digital coding identifies the contents for logistics networks worldwide.
The heavy lifting is delegated to untiring robotic sentinels.
Algorithms dictate the stacking pattern to maximize stability and density. Layer by layer, the monolith of production rises, a testament to industrial throughput.
The sprawling organic canopy is mirrored here by a canyon of steel and inventory. Millions of units rest in this silent archive, awaiting their final destination.
A final layer of polymer secures the load, binding the individual cases into a singular shipping unit. Silent automatons navigate the labyrinth, retrieving inventory with algorithmic efficiency. Verticality is conquered as the facility utilizes every cubic meter of volume. Digital tracking maintains a live map of the inventory, knowing the location of every single jar. Orders are aggregated in the staging lanes, the final pause before distribution. The bay doors open, bridging the controlled environment with the chaotic world outside.
The puzzle is completed as the cargo fills the transport vessel.
20 tons of preserved sunshine are secured for the long journey ahead. The final seal is applied, the factory's responsibility ends, and the logistics chain begins. From a single blossom to a global commodity, the cycle is complete.
The roar of production fades, surrendering the floor to the silence of the night watch.
Automatic sanitation cycles begin, scrubbing the slate clean for the next campaign.
While the line sleeps, engineers prepare the steel sinews for tomorrow's labor.
Critical components are replaced to ensure the first cut of the morning is perfect.
The digital brain rests in low power mode, logging the achievements of the day.
In the shadow of automation, a solitary remnant of the harvest remains behind.
Nature's persistence lingers, waiting for the cycle to begin anew.
The factory sleeps, but the harvest never ends.